Hey, what is going on, Virgos? Butch Tarot here. I keep saying it even though it's behind me now. I've been saying it for years, but anyway, I'm going to be doing your October read for the month of October for the entirety of October. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you like the content and you haven't already, join our family, subscribe. Got a lot of great people here. Virgos have always been really good to me, and I am always very appreciative of it. Now, I'm going to be using the Wild Reflections Tarot. With all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Virgos for October 2024? What do we have for Virgos? All right, Virgos. So the first thing I feel like the energy that around you, there is this person. There's a very special energy between you and this person. But it is a bit complicated. So let's get into it. I mean, the first thing I feel like is there's this, I mean, you have this very, I mean, it's like this friendship, but I feel like it's stronger than just a friendship. I feel like you have something very special with this person. But I don't feel like, I feel like you want more from this and you've been waiting for this to be more. So for some of you, this can be someone you're already in a relationship with. For others, it's someone that you want to be in a relationship. But I feel like you're just waiting for that next step with that Three of Wands, waiting for that ship to come in, waiting for that next level. Because there's definitely a connection with the two of you that isn't like anything else. You know, I feel like you really truly care about this person. I feel like you already know what you want with this person. The trouble is I don't feel like you're sure what they want. I mean, I see the Star card. I feel like you nurture this person. You know, I feel like you're very, very nurturing, which doesn't surprise me whatsoever because Virgos are very nurturing, and I feel like you're really there for this person. And it's not because of just the friendship. It's not just because of what they mean to you. I feel like this person has a hard time seeing who they really are, but you see it. Like, you really see who this person is, who they're going to become, and who they can be. I mean, you have a lot of faith in this person. But then we have, this is where it gets a little dicey. I feel like there's a lot of anxiety. a lot of sleepless nights, because I feel like there's a lot of hot and cold energy with this person. It's almost like it feels like sometimes it feels like it's almost like they're pushing you away. Like they're trying to separate themselves from you. But then there's other times when you couldn't be any closer. Everything just feels right. But then there's these times, like I said, the hot and cold. There's some times when it feels like they can't talk to you, or you feel like they can't talk to you, or you feel like they can't open up to you. And that gives you pause. Lack of communication here. And I do feel like there's a very good reason for that. We have that self-imposed prison with that Eight of Swords. I feel like I feel like there's times where this person really lets their guard down around you. And I feel like that's when the connection is evident. But then there's times they realize they've let their guard down and they throw it back up, and I feel like they're just scared. I feel like this person is confident in a lot of ways in life, but trusting people is not their forte. It's not something they're used to. They're not used to having someone show up for them without a hidden agenda. This person's really overthinking this. Severely overthinking this. And it causes internal struggle within them. Like I said, I feel like there's moments when they just let it, they let their guard down and they're just there with you, and you just have this moment where nothing can interrupt that, where you're on the same page. You're working toward the same thing. You both feel like you're aligning. But then there's these moments, like I said, there's like almost like this roadblock. This person is looking at the negatives instead of the positives here. They're overthinking. They're looking at the negatives instead of the positives. They don't quite see what you see in them. I feel like that's the biggest problem we have here. It's not a huge problem to have. There's worse. It is a problem, though. They don't see themselves the way you see them. But the way they see you makes them kind of wonder what you see in them. There's a lot of struggle here. And I feel like this person has this kind of negative outlook on themselves to a point, not completely, but to a point where they're afraid they're going to hurt you. So them pushing themselves away, they feel like it's for you. They feel like they're keeping you safe. What I see here is you're all they could ever want and ask for. You're exactly what they want. But they don't feel like they're what you need. They feel like they're going to bring you down. This person thinks about you and only you. And like I said, with that Four Cups, and like I said, I feel like this person has their shit together when it comes to certain aspects of their life, but I feel like their love life has never been good. And that's part of the reason why I feel like they have a hard time accepting it. But what's clear to me, and I feel like a lot of times it's clear to you, I definitely feel like there's a soulmate connection, possibly a twin flame connection. I feel that this is deeper than either one of you initially realized it would be. The only difference is you're accepting it and they're acting a different way about it. The closer they get to you, the more they care about you, the more they feel for you, the more they want you. But they also feel because of their bad track record in love, they don't want to hurt you. I mean, they're doing it for you in their mind. I mean, what's obvious is this person's always going to show up for you. Always. No questions asked. It's something Virgos don't get very often. But in this person's eyes, showing up for you is the least they can do. But they don't see it as a big deal. Not as much as a Virgo would. Virgos are always putting people before themselves. Always. Very selfless. And I always say this, if you don't have a Virgo friend, you need to get one, because they're great people to have in your life. I have some Virgo friends that, trust me, a few of them for sure have gotten more out of me. Really got me to see one of my really good friends, Chris. He's a Virgo. And he's just one of those guys, when you're down, he just knows how to get you back up. But anyway, getting back to the read, this person truly cares about you in a deep way. And this is why they're acting the way that they're acting. It's not because they don't care. It's not because they don't love you. Because I see quite the opposite. I feel like they care a lot more than you think they do. And I feel like they do love you. They just feel like almost kind of like a broken toy, and they're going to disappoint you when you realize that they are broken. Because they don't see themselves the way you see them. But in true Virgo fashion, they will see. I mean, things are going to change. I see some big changes coming. I see a lot of emotional fulfillment. I see two cards that I always love to see together in a read. The Emperor and the Empress, the King and the Queen and the Queen, the King and the King. Whatever your dynamic is, it's the masculine meets the feminine. Two energies coming together, colliding together to form that perfect energy. I feel like you're perfect for each other. And I feel like they will see that. I feel like it's slow and steady, but it's an establishment of trust. They have to learn to trust themselves. It's not about trusting you. They have to learn to trust how they feel. They're not seeing what's right in front of them, but they will. And the reason why I'm confident in saying that is because I see the sun. I absolutely love this card. This woman, she's just out in her house coat. She doesn't even care that she's not dressed. She's got the hair flowing, banging on her gong. She's just happy. She don't care about anything else but her happiness, and she's happy. So what else screams happiness but this? Like I said, it's definitely a soulmate connection. There's definitely something deeper here, and this was definitely meant to go somewhere much, much higher than just friends. You weren't meant to be just friends. Like I said, I feel like this person, it does very well in life. They just really had a bad go in love. And they have a hard time trusting themselves. They have a hard time trusting, their own intuition. But this was never made to go anywhere else but up. They're not pushing you away. They feel like they're keeping you safe. It's like when you're drowning and, somebody comes out to rescue you and you're like, you're trying to get them to get away from you because you put them first. You don't want to drown. You don't want to drown them. This fly is driving me crazy. I don't know where he came from. They're already showing up for you and they don't even know it. This just shows how deeply they care about you. You know, you want this person and they want you. Like I said, you both feel it. They're just reacting in a different way than you are. Because you can see the potential. You can see them for who they really are. They don't see it that way yet, but they will. With this person, we have Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. We have some Aries. We have some Gemini, some Aquarius. We have Scorpio and Pisces. I remember when I first started dating Rose. I always thought it was going to end. You know, I always thought it was going to end. I didn't want it to, but I always thought it was going to end. I always thought, you know, she's way better than me. She could have someone way better than me. And eventually she's going to see it. But I had a different mentality. My mentality was I'm going to enjoy this as long as I can until she realizes that she can do better. And it wasn't because I wasn't I didn't have the highest self-esteem, but I wasn't like, I wasn't really low self-esteem person. Like I thought, you know, a lot of good things about myself. You know, I didn't think I was the best looking guy or, you know, but there was things about myself that I knew I excelled in. I mean, like I've always been one of the strongest people I know, physically and mentally. You know, I fished lobster when I was a little kid. I worked in butcher shops. I worked on oil rigs for years. I've always done tough jobs. And working on the oil rigs, it's tough work. But then you add in the fact that I worked in northern Alberta, so -40. And a lot of people never made it. You know, they couldn't cut it. I've seen so many people come in and out. They work for a few days and they're just like, no, I can't do this. Never had that in me. I was always driven. But there was aspects of me that I didn't think were the greatest. I didn't think I was that good looking of a person. You know, just different things. You know, I feel like I was self-aware. And I still don't think that I'm the best looking guy, but I know I'm not the ugliest guy either. You know? But I feel like I'm a very nice person. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are just not nice people, but I always felt like I was a nice person. I was always good to people. I'd give you the shirt off my back. You know, I had my good and bad qualities, but I just felt like eventually she was going to see that she was better than me. Because I thought she was the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life, and I still think that to this day. Like, I still get that feeling when she comes into a room. But, you know, in the beginning, like I said, if I'm really going to be honest, in the beginning, I said, I'm going to ride out till the wheels fall off, you know, until that day. You know, anybody else, I would have been like, okay, well, this probably isn't going to work, so I'm not even going to bother waste my time. With her, every minute I had with her was a win. So for every minute I get, I'm winning, right? And even in the beginning, I was kind of just waiting for it, you know, in the back of my head. But I was enjoying as much as I could. The point of that story is almost 16 years later, we're still together. So she hasn't figured it out yet. You know, like I said, going back, I have my good qualities, I have my bad qualities. I don't want anybody to think that I'm down on myself. I mean, I always worked hard. I always had a good job. You know, I always wanted a family. But You know, sometimes I even still look at her and wonder what the hell she's doing with me, but it's not even about being, you know, attractive. Like, I don't care if I'm physically attractive to the world. Don't. As long as I'm attractive to her. But sometimes it's like I feel with this energy that I'm picking up from this read, it's like this person. It's kind of like they're waiting for the other shoe to fall off. But them suckers are on pretty good. You know, it's almost like they're waiting for something that's not going to happen. And eventually they're going to figure it out. You know, I was with this one girl before Rose, and I remember I thought she was a good looking girl, and I thought she was kind of out of my league. Then I get to know her, and I kind of saw her personality, and I saw, you know, the bad side of her. No offense, I'm not going to say her name, but no offense. But, you know, when you're with someone and you think they're all this and that, and a bag of chips, and then you get to know them, and they're really not for you. The reason I found this out is because I saw how she treated other people. I didn't like it. And then the veil came down and I saw her for who she really was. And then I realized, not that I was better than her, but she wasn't as good as I thought she was. See, with this person that I'm getting the energy from in your read, they know you're as good as they think you are. They just don't know if they're good enough for you. Anyway, be good. Take care. Stay safe.